There's a couple things that really matter with your thumbnails. For one, if you're a business owner, messaging matters a ton. Think about what payment processor do your clients use? Most of them will use Stripe. Some people use Fanbasis. But for example, we had like a client who was like a therapist, right? And she basically taught other therapists how to make more money. There's a certain portal that therapists use to collect cash. So we had to, example, use that portal in the thumbnail to have our messaging be clear. So for one, you're going to want to think about what is your messaging? What are the typical colors that actually are used in your industry? For example, with therapy, it's like more like dark earthy greens, right? And maybe white. That's like a very good kind of mix. So think about your messaging first. What do your viewers respond to? What do they know? For example, in the entrepreneur space, it's like ClickFunnels awards. If you have a ClickFunnels award in your background in a thumbnail, this is something William Brown does very well. He has ClickFunnels reward. He has a $10 million ClickFunnels reward in the background. And then he has a Rolex Day-Date on his wrist. That's something that entrepreneurs will connect with. They'll see that and they'll be like, wow, this video is for me because this guy is like me. People watch who they are. And if you can become that person that the majority of your viewers are and demonstrate that in the thumbnail, you're going to have a lot more success. That's one of the most important things for business owners, because that essentially pre-qualifies people before they ever click on your video. The base principle for all YouTubers and business owners as well is essentially to not make the thumbnails overcomplicated. Majority of people overcomplicate the thumbnails by a ton. They'll have 6, 7 elements of just pure chaos on the thumbnail, thinking that the more the better. But realistically, you shouldn't have more than 3 elements on your thumbnail. So there's something called the 3-element rule, where you essentially want you want the outcome, and then maybe some text. That's like a perfect thumbnail. You, the outcome, text. If you do that, you're going to have a lot of success on YouTube. And you could do it in many ways. You could have you and maybe like a number here that's a low number and a high number here to show like a transformation, right? That's another way to use the 3-element rule. But you don't want ever more than 3 elements on your thumbnail. The next thing with thumbnails is color theory. So color theory is super important. On the color wheel, if you look on that, maybe we can put a little image up on screen right here. But on the color wheel, what you essentially want to do is you essentially want to use colors that are about 2/3 of the way down the color wheel. So let's say that the color wheel is like here. You want to use a color that's like here. So let's say like we have one color here on the color wheel. Those are going to contrast very, very well. And it's going to look very good if you contrast those colors. It's going to catch the eye. So those are really the base principles. And then obviously just having a good design, making it look high quality.